We're talking sports. It's time for the Saturday Sports Countdown with Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, and Luke Robinson. Auburn, Alabama, around the SEC, and around the nation. This is the Saturday Sports Countdown. To be a part of the program, call 256-234-6221. Now, let's join Brett, Randy, and Luke for the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome into the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. I am Andy Graham alongside Brett Pritchard. We'll be with you for the next 2 hours, not taking your phone calls, but discussing everything going on in the world of sports. We appreciate so much all of you out there joining us today. Of course, a lot to talk about today, as it is actually one of the more busy days or weekends in sports, really, in high school sports, college sports, and professional sports. But the Alabama High School Athletic Association playoffs took place over the last 2 or 3 days. Of course, Brett, you were there, you and Randy calling several of those games. We'll talk about quite a few of those, the results of those playoff games. It is Conference Championship Day around college football. The Pac-12 Championship took place last night with Washington dominating the Colorado Buffaloes. Western Michigan took down Ohio in a little bit of closer game, I think, than most were anticipating in the MAC championship. You have the SEC championship today, the ACC championship, the Big Ten championship. It all comes down to the college football playoff. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who will it be? I think certainly Washington established themselves as a player in that. But who will the other three be? Will we know today? I think we probably will.
Yeah, you want me to go ahead and name them for you? Because, I mean, it pretty much is with Washington winning the way they did last night, it's pretty much a done deal, in my opinion, that Washington will be number 4, Alabama will be number 1, and 2 and 3. Right there in the middle will be Clemson and Ohio State, one or the other, 2 or 3. It doesn't matter because they'll play each other. 2 and 3 are going to play each other. It doesn't matter which one's 2, which one's 3. Alabama's going to get Washington. It's got one blemish on their schedule, or one blemish on their record. Alabama, we'll see how they play today, because it's hard to, as a kid that's 18, 19, 20 years old, you're playing in an SEC championship game, but you know what your mindset and your aspirations are. You just won against your rival at home, and let's not be coy about this, that they read things constantly on social media and on their smartphones and their laptops and all that. In this information day, you can't keep anything from anybody anymore, and they know Florida's terrible, and they know Florida has no offense. And so the biggest battle and hurdle for Alabama today is trying to fight through complacency and not taking this for granted and going out there and just going through the motions and letting Florida hang around for 3 quarters and putting them in a precarious situation. Alabama could get beat by 14 and still go to the playoffs. It doesn't matter. This game doesn't matter. It does not matter. Alabama's going to go to the playoffs regardless of the outcome, but obviously they want to finish the deal. Andy will talk later on in the program. I think conference championship games are the days are numbered. I think they're being compromised currently. There's so much more talk going on about what is the use of conference championship games and the way things are laid out now with this playoff system, and maybe making it a first round week instead of, I don't know. There's just a lot of talk, and to be honest with you, this conference championship game means absolutely nothing. It's just a moneymaker. I hate to see that it's gone in that direction, but that's just the truth of it. That's just the reality of it.
Well, we all wanted a playoff, and we all wanted to settle it on the field, and that's just kind of the nature of the beast. It eliminates the need for a conference championship, really, if you're going to decide with an arbitrary committee who are the 4 best teams. The one game that, to me, is the biggest one is the Big Ten championship, because everybody assumes that Ohio State is in, and they have pretty much given them that number 2 slot. if Penn State wins the Big Ten championship, in my opinion, if you put Ohio State in over Penn State, it undermines the fundamental nature of winning and losing in college athletics.
Yeah, and they're going to, and because the bottom line is Ohio State, outside of that lone loss to Penn State, they had a 19-7 lead late in that game, and Penn State came back and won the football game. But you've just heard so many people over and over and over say that, Penn State just isn't real flashy. And then I hate to be that way, and it shouldn't be about that, but Ohio State carries more weight. They carry more attention. At the end of the day, it's about popularity and money. And Ohio State's playing good football. I know Penn State's playing good football, but I'm telling you, at the end of the day, if you're laying Ohio State and Penn State on the table, I don't care what Penn State does today in that championship game. Ohio State is going to get in this championship game and let the dismay begin. Let everybody start pounding away on this committee. They have a tough situation. I'll tell you this. I'll say that I've seen already one benefit of this committee over a computer. You look at some of the way everybody goes, well, man, some of these teams lose and only drop 2 or 3 spots. Well, because the human element is able to look at things outside of just data based on numbers and things like that to make a decision. They know that, hey, this team's got injuries, and they lost a game, but they lost it less than a touchdown on the road. And are we really going to penalize them and drop them 15 spots, 10 spots for losing this football game? Or are we going to take into account really why they lost the game? And that's why everybody has questioned, well, why does Michigan only fall out? Why does Auburn only at number 13? I mean, you think about it that way. Auburn's lost 2 ball games in a row, and they're still number 13 in the country in the college football playoff, because that committee understands that this team, excuse or not, is decimated with injuries. And they have no starting quarterback, and they have a great defense. So they're trying to give some credit to some of the hard work and effort that's been put in the big picture. And they're saying that if Cam Petway, I'm using Auburn as an example, if Cam Petway were healthy and Sean White were healthy, they would have beat Georgia. And it would have been a lot closer game probably against Alabama. That's what the committee's saying. And they're giving credit for Alabama being number 1 and Auburn having to go on the road and play in their stadium and being only down 13-9 at halftime. There's a lot of things these committee members are talking about. Andy, it'd be no different in all of our group in Sports Blitz getting in a room and deciding, all right, where are we going to place the top 10 in the country? And we all sit around and we give our reasons, and then we all come to some type of compromise and say, yeah, I understand. I think Penn State probably deserves to be there because of this, but Ohio State deserves to be there because of this. That's where you come up with the solutions.
I completely understand that, and I appreciate it. And I much rather would have a human element than a computer. I always hated the BCS because of that. I like the fact that you have somebody that can think and that can watch and can understand and can take into consideration these different kind of elements. I think that's a good thing. But when you have and it comes down to head-to-head competition, and Penn State beats Ohio State, wins and losses have got to still count for something. So I understand Penn State's got 2 losses, Ohio State's got 1, but the whole business about conference championships, we're never going to do away with them because they make too much money. And it can never. I mean, at some point, doesn't it have to not be about money? Doesn't it have to be about what's best for the sport?
Well,
because if conference championships just become a hindrance more than a help, I mean, you're being penalized now for having to play a conference championship.
Well, you are. I mean, the way it's shaped in college football right now, these conference championship games can be detrimental to you a lot more than they can benefit. And because, I mean, I'm going to use the SEC championship game as an example today. If Florida beats Alabama, no shot. They're not even in the top 25. I mean, they are in the top 25 barely. Okay, but they're looking at a team that if they win, you're not going to, because they're in the SEC and they won 1 game against Alabama, boost them up into a top 14 playoff. I mean, so, and everybody's already said before this game is Alabama's been the dominant team all year in college football, and are you going to penalize them for losing an SEC championship game at the end. Let's just say if Jalen Hurts goes out and Alabama can't get the job done and Florida wins at the end on a field goal or something like that, you're going to bump Alabama all the way out of the top 4 because, I mean, so basically they've rendered that game irrelevant. They have said it really doesn't matter. Y'all go play it. Y'all go have fun. If you're Alabama, you're worried that, hey, man, I might lose a couple of key guys going into this playoff because of this game. Now, the SEC championship, yeah, I want to be able to fly another banner above my stadium and say that we won the SEC, but in the end of the day, I guess we're all playing for national championships, and that's the ultimate goal in college football. And so, yes, with the structure and the way it is in college football right now, unfortunately, they've rendered that game. Now, if Florida were number 4 in the country and they were playing, it'd be a huge game today. Everybody'd be talking about it. Losers out, winner stays in. But when you got an East division over there that everybody's fighting to see who is the worst instead of the best, and one team has to go because somebody's got to go represent the East, it's a non-factor.
Well, it'll be interesting to see either way. I'm sure that will not deter Alabama fans from watching that game.
Well, it's not going to. It doesn't have anything to do with viewership. And I mean, it'd be the same if Auburn were in it and we were watching it. It doesn't matter. In the big picture, in the way college football is going right now, it does matter. And they've got to make a decision on what they want to do moving forward, because right now they have a conflicting set of circumstances on their hands. Where you're telling me right now that the SEC championship game, the Big Ten championship game today mean absolutely nothing.
Well, now, I'm of the opinion that it's still, there's a chance. If Penn State's impressive and they beat Wisconsin and win, I mean, the last several years, the committee has made some big changes the last vote. Because, you know, they come in this and they've even said, they're on record saying, well, we haven't had to worry about a conference champion at this point because we hadn't had one. There hasn't been one. Well, now we're going to have one. So now what do you do with, let's say Clemson wins impressively, Washington has already won impressively, Penn State wins impressively, Alabama wins impressively. You got your 4 major champions.
A lot of people were hoping that Washington would lay an egg and just get out of the way, and then if Penn State won, they just put Penn State and Ohio State up there and everybody'd be happy. But then you got the mix of Michigan. Well, Michigan beat Penn State. So what? I mean, so then they're gonna put Michigan back in the top. Look, man, it's just going to be that way moving forward. So they need to make a decision whether conference championship games mean anything or not, and whether they should do some kind of different something. Maybe they should just do it overall record and crown champions through the regular season, back the way they used to do it. And if you want to say we tied, so what? But you know, then you go to a tiebreaker. And, you know, there were several times there were 3 teams that won the SEC, but the tiebreaker went to somebody and they were crowned the official champion. But the other 2 teams claimed conference championships too. So it doesn't matter in the scheme of things. But that's kind of where you're going back to, in my opinion. Because I know you can't play 13 other teams in your conference. You can't just stay in your conference. But it's a overall picture of the teams that you schedule and play versus everybody else. Some years you're going to have a weaker schedule. Some years you're going to have a stronger schedule. It's just the way it is. But, again, you can see these conferences going, I'm not going to eliminate this game. I'm not going to cut millions of dollars out of our budget.
Well, with the evolution of the playoff, it just seems like conference championships are no longer really necessary.
That's right.
So we'll see how it goes moving forward. But up against our first break here on the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Join us when we come back. More presented by S&S Discount Tire right after this.
Comfort is our #1 concern. Advanced Heat and Air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's Trane dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our #1 concern. Call 234-5052 and we're there for you.
The Sure Shot, located on Highway 280 in Alexander City, is Lake Martin Sportsman's headquarters. In the market for a new rifle or shotgun? Come to the Sure Shot. Want a new bow or need to practice with the one you have? Come to the Sure Shot. Thinking about a firearm for self-defense? Come to the Sure Shot. Got a hunt planned and need some gear? Come to the Sure Shot. For all your archery, shooting, and hunting needs, let the Sure Shot be your first stop.
If your New Year's resolution is to stop walking and start riding, then resolve yourself to run to Lake Martin Truck and Auto on Old Dadeville Road. Lake Martin Truck and Auto is the bank, and you don't need to worry about past credit, getting your tax money, or finding the ride that suits you, because Lake Martin Truck and Auto has the lowest down payments and monthly payments in the area with the best selection. Don't let the Slick City dealer take all that tax money or hassle you with credit. Lake Martin Truck and Auto, Old Dadeville Road in Alex City.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Over the years, S&S Tires grown into the Lake Martin area's largest volume tire dealer. S&S Tire offers the industry's best brand names: Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Firestone, and much, much more. The tire pros at S&S offer professional installation and the region's best price. In addition to your tire needs, S&S offers full automotive mechanical work for all your vehicle maintenance and repair needs with the area's most experienced staff. Visit either of our 2 locations on Cherokee Road in Alex City or at South Street in Dadeville. At S&S Tire, we're installing peace of mind for every customer we serve. Every job, every day.
Ready to put some fun in your life? Whether it's Central or East Alabama, North Alabama, West Georgia, or wherever you're from, Fun Carts of Opelika is your authorized E-Z-GO cart dealer that has no limits on a perfect E-Z-GO cart. Whether it's a fully customized cart or a stock-made cart, we'll deliver it on time and at the best price. Fun Carts gives you the service after the sale, so no matter if it's hunting, tailgating, motorhoming, fleet rental, or just a better way to get around, Fun Carts of Opelika has it and will customize it to your needs. Visit us in Opelika or call us or visit online for the best E-Z-GO carts. Put a little fun in your life with Fun Carts of Opelika.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by S&S Discount Tire. Andy Graham and Brett Pritchard here with you. Talked a lot about in the first segment some national college football going on today, conference championships. We'll move into some high school here a little bit for the next several segments. Of course, the Alabama High School Athletic Association playoffs took place Wednesday through last night. Seven classifications crowned their champion. Brett, you called several of those games. 6A championship, of course, here of a lot of local interest. Last night, Opelika playing there in Jordan-Hare Stadium, taking on Ramsey. They're from Birmingham.
That's right.
First time that a Birmingham school had won a state championship in quite a while.
Yeah, and, you know, they got a neat storyline behind Reuben Nelson being the coach, and just an invigoration of new blood and excitement into that program because they hadn't played football in so long. And you mentioned in your notes that you'll talk about here in a little bit about they did away with football several years ago and then brought it back here recently, and then now Reuben Nelson had them in a state championship game last night, and they win it 21-16 over Opelika. Just so many subplots in this game, and I'll say this: of all the 7 games that were played this past week, this one was by far the closest and the best game overall. And Piedmont Mobile Christian was a decent game. That was a 10-point win for Piedmont, but most of the other games were blowouts and handily in charge, one team over another. And Hoover won over McGill 17-7, but that was a 17-0 game with 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. So McGill scores and tries an onside kick and almost gets it. And if they get that and drive down, they can make it real interesting. But We'll talk about Hoover in a little bit, but Ramsey, Opelika gets the opening kickoff, or no, Ramsey gets the opening kickoff, and they hold Ramsey 3 and out, and they have to punt. Opelika gets the ball at the Ramsey 45 and drives in 9 plays. And I thought to myself, calling that game last night, I said, if Ramsey doesn't do something to adjust to this running attack for Opelika, they're going to get a heavy dose of Weldron Ford and J.D. Worth, and they're going to run the football, and they're going to wear them down, they're going to pound them. But outside of that drive, Opelika offensively did nothing. I mean, they really didn't move the ball at all. They ended up with over 200 yards of offense, but they had no answer in the first half for Harley, Benico Harley, the quarterback, one of the most tremendous athletes I've had the pleasure of calling. And for Opelika to start off 7-0 with that atmosphere and that crowd in Jordan-Hare Stadium, I thought it was going to be a long night for Ramsey, but Ramsey proved that they were legit. They're well coached. They're disciplined. They obviously studied film tremendously on Opelika and did things and forced them to do things that they didn't want to do. And then when J.D. Worth went out late in the second quarter, you could just feel the air come out of the balloon for Opelika. And look, credit Coach Blackman and his son for coming into the game as a sophomore. I can tell you he had no anticipation of playing in this game, but that kid went in there and was able to move the football and able to throw it, but they couldn't get anything going offensively enough, Andy, to win the game or to get back down there. 2 huge turnovers in special teams, one on a punt return late in the game, one to start the second half, the opening kickoff. They fumble, Ramsey goes in to score a touchdown. The 2 turnovers really, really cost Opelika. The only other score for Opelika was on a fake punt, 40-yard fake punt that re-energized the building, cut it to a touchdown lead, 21-14. And then Ramsey makes a mistake, snaps the ball over the punter's head, gives them 2 points. So now it's a touchdown, wins the game for Opelika. So then you had a swing of emotion saying, all of this coming together, it just it may be Opelika's time. All this is just coming together, can't generate any offense. And it looks like they're going to put together the final drive of the game and win the game, but they couldn't do it. Ramsey just too good on defense.
Didn't they fumble the punt? I mean, the kick after the safety.
They did.
I mean, you have that momentum, like you say. You cut it to that where you're within a touchdown to win the game.
And they ran it back all the way. And they ran it back to the 35, and he fumbled again and had it ripped out. But again, it wasn't that the kid fumbled. It was that Ramsey made another good play to go down there and they ripped the ball out. You gotta understand at any level that ball security is number one, and Opelika didn't take care of the football in the special team side of things, and it cost them the football game. I have never seen a group more dejected than I have that Opelika bunch. I mean, you got to feel sorry for them. I mean, you feel outstanding for Ramsey and what they were able to do, but man, Opelika, to have the program they've had, I mean, Benjamin Russell has 3 state championships and played for more, but they've got banners hanging up. Opelika has no state championship banners. And you want to talk about a team that's won a tremendous amount of games over the last few years. They just have nothing to show for it. And it's crazy, Andy.
Like you mentioned, Ramsey didn't even have football until 2012. Reuben Nelson was asked to resurrect the program, and here they are just 4 short years later.
That's what I'm saying.
Winning a 6A state championship. So, 403 total yards, 271 on the ground. I don't think anybody would have saw that coming against that Opelika defense.
Well,
but like you said, Opelika just unable really to do much with the ball. They did have 189 yards rushing, but only 254 total yards. Yeah, it's just.
And it came in 45 of that came on the first drive. I mean, right. So they garnered up 200 yards of offense the rest of the game for the remainder, really for the rest of the whole game, because that first drive ate up about 4.5 minutes. And then outside of that, they did nothing offensively.
And really, it came down to Opelika got the ball back and with about 2 minutes to play and had a 4th and 1 and couldn't get it.
I know.
That's kind of the story.
And I didn't even mention that there's so many things that you can talk about. Ramsey rolling the dice, faking a punt down there inside their own 10-yard line, and they needed 27 yards and got 28. Tripped up, and he fell forward. They didn't end up scoring, but it kept the ball in Ramsey's hands, and it got them out of a hole, and they drove down and ended up punting the ball and pinning Opelika. But then Ramsey gets the ball back, they drive down, and are just inches away from putting the game away without Opelika ever touching the ball, but Opelika holds them. They get the ball back, as you said, Weldron forward on 3rd and 1, up the middle. You think it's a given that they're going to run in and make that no problem and move the chains. And Ramsey said, nope, not going to happen tonight. And Andy, that close to a first down for Opelika, keeping that drive going. And that in itself just pours salt in the wound of Opelika, that twice now they've played for a state championship in Jordan-Hare, and twice they've walked out of there disappointed.
First state championship for Ramsey in school history, just the 3rd in Birmingham school history since the playoffs began in 1966. Banks won back-to-back titles in 72 and 73, so that's it's been a while since a Birmingham school. Opelika, as you mentioned, runner-up in 2012 and 2016. We'll continue these thoughts and run down some of these other classification champions when we come back. More Saturday Sports Countdown, Sports Blitz, Saturday Sports Countdown, presented by S&S Discount Tire, right after this.
For years, textile was king here, the backbone of our economy. But textile and all the jobs left. Our region was threatened. Then the nearby Hyundai plant opened. Local parts suppliers created thousands of good-paying jobs. Automotive is now the backbone of our economy, thanks to Hyundai. At Hyundai of Auburn this week, 0%, no payments for 6 months, $149 leases, and $4,000 cash back. Great cars built by our friends and neighbors. Hyundai of Auburn, you really should compare.
In a world that's ever-changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. At Central Alabama Community College, you'll know you made the best choice. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a 4-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, get a sharper focus on your life by choosing one of our 3 convenient locations: Alex City, Childersburg, and Talladega. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you, central to your success.
Don't you know there's no queen like Peaches and Clean?
Wow, your carpets look fantastic.
Yeah, thanks to Peaches and Clean.
They look new again.
They also clean my kitchen tile.
Simply amazing. I'm calling Peaches and Clean today.
Just call 502-5326. Oh yeah, they have an area rug cleaning facility too.
Peaches and Clean is now expanded to the Alexander City Lake Martin Market. Give them a call at 334-502-5326.
Call us up at Peaches and Clean.
Get the best seat in the house for every game this football season. Upgrade that old recliner for the comfort of FlexSteel from Holly's Home Furnishings. Stunning styles, incredible comfort, and FlexSteel's signature blue steel construction. At Holly's Home Furnishings, we offer a variety of different fabric and leather options, plus state-of-the-art power recliners. Come in and score big today with Holly's Home Furnishings' unbeatable selection and unbelievable everyday prices. Family-owned and operated Holly's Home Furnishings, located in Alexander City and Montgomery.
You know, these Zaxby's fried pickles really take me back to Meemaw's kitchen.
Yeah, Meemaw really would have loved these. Is that a time machine?
Yep, and I brought Meemaw back with me.
That's not Meemaw.
Ooh. Okay, let's get you back inside. Oh.
Better than Grandma's? Maybe. Indescribably good? Definitely. Fried pickles are back. Lightly breaded, fried to perfection, and served with ranch sauce. Try them before they're gone. Zaxby's.
Okay, anyone like coming in first place in everything that matters? Introducing the all-new 2017 Ford Super Duty, the only high-strength, military-grade, aluminum alloy body, heavy-duty pickup. It takes first place in every measure of tough. Best-in-class towing, best-in-class payload, best-in-class horsepower, and best-in-class torque. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. This is the next level. This is the all-new Ford Super Duty.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Andy and Brett here with you until noon today. We'll run down a lot more of these 6A, 7A, I can't even say AHSAA.
You and the PA
playoffs.
announcer.
Yeah,
not Rick Smith. Now, the other guy. He said it's the ASHAAA, and I mean he said it two or three times.
If you don't get in rhythm with it, it can.
I'm so
be a
used to
problem.
saying AHSAA now, it just kind of is.
You got to get that. It's
my
that
tongue.
AH. If you can get that out,
AHSAA. I mean, yeah, but PA announcer couldn't get it right either. So don't feel bad.
All right. Well, we talked about Ramsey defeating Opelika 21-16. We'll talk about some of these lower classifications. You mentioned the 2A championship, 5. Pretty much handled with ease. Aliceville 28-0. This is 5's second championship. 334 total yards for 5, only 105 for Aliceville, and a turnover. That really not going to get it done. 5 outscored their opponents 700 to 113 this year.
Paul Benefield, the coach.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. That's an understatement. Paul Benefield, they won it in 2014. They lost last year to Elba, 36-22. And I've got a neat story I was told between games down there. You hear so many stories from different people on the sideline, talking to people. And I was on the sideline for that 5 game, watching, and they were talking about Elba. Elba was the defending 2A champs, and the year before in Jordan-Hare Stadium in 14, Fife defeated Elba in that game, and Elba's coach on the bus on the way home pulled out film on Fife. He said, we're watching film right now on the way home because in a year we're meeting them again, and we're going to play them again, and we ain't losing this time. We're going to take a year, and we're going to plan every day for Fife. We're going to plan for other teams. We're going to watch film. And they did. They got back last year to play Fife, and they shut them down as much as you can. Beat them 36-22, but they solved the riddle of that Fife offense and that misdirection and the way they did things. And I'm going to tell you, Andy, that's stay power. That is sheer will. When the seconds roll off the clock, you walk out the stadium, and you just lost the state title game, you start prepping for next year. And but Fife comes back this year, in a week's time in a playoff, if you're not aiming and looking ahead to try to get prepared for that Fife offense, the way they run it, it's almost impossible to get ready for it in a week's time.
Well, congratulations to Fife. Certainly deserving there. 1A championship, Maplesville 40, Pickens County 12.
The bus rolls on, man.
0 yards rushing for Pickens County, 113 total yards. They were outrushed 249-0, and they turned the ball over 4 times. That is not a recipe for success.
No, that's not one you want to keep around. You want to scrap that.
Throw away that game plan.
Yeah, but it had a lot to do with what with what Maplesville does, and Terrence Dunlap and that running back, and he'll be in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game next week. I'll call that game for the network. Maplesville is, I hate to say it, they're just men amongst boys in 1A football right now. And I'm not cutting down any other program in 1A. There's some good programs in 1A, but nobody has challenged Maplesville much at all. And if you look at what Maplesville's been able to do under Brent Hubbard, it's been there 13 years, and that was their 3rd state title, and that was the 4th that they've been playing for in the last 5 years. Where does it end? I mean,
23-game winning streak right now.
They have 1 win or 2 wins shy now of Piedmont with 25. Piedmont has the longest winning streak in the state. McGill-Toolen came in with a 22-game winning streak. That got erased by Hoover. So 2 streaks continue, Piedmont and Maplesville, in this Super 7. And right now, the teams that won their respective classifications, Andy, right now, to me, of course, a lot of people didn't know a lot about Ramsey, but Fife is clearly king in 2A. Right now, Piedmont is clearly king in 3A and have been. Maplesville is king in 1A. The other classes in 5A and in 4A, you have a new champion in 5A, a new champion in 6A, and you've got a champion in Handley that has been there in 2011-12, dropped off, and then now they are back. Madison Academy's been the
3 and 4,
the essence of 3 and 4, and they got knocked off by Handley. And then obviously Hoover is the king in 7A. I know McGill-Toolen was the defending champs, and they were undefeated coming into the game, but Hoover just broke the state record with their 12th state championship, and they won 10 state championships since 2000 now. I mean, and they've been in 9 of the last 11 title games. So
I'd say they dominate.
I mean, they already make preparations and book hotel rooms right now for next year. That's what Hoover does. So in only a couple of classifications, really 5A and 6A, do you have teams that have an established, a line, a lineage of dominance like these other classifications. Somebody's going to have to rise up to beat Piedmont and Maplesville and Fife to prove to me they're better.
You mentioned Terrence Dunlap, 38 carries, 180 yards, 3 touchdowns. That 38 carries sets a Super 7 Class 1A record. So a workhorse for Mr. Dunlap.
Well, talking about Mr. Dunlap, and when we come back, we'll talk about another one in 5A that broke and shattered 5A records, shattered Super 7 records overall for carries, for yards. I would be remiss to say that if Beauregard didn't have that young man, I don't know what they would have done this year. I mean, just amazing what I witnessed the other night.
No doubt about it. As you mentioned, Beauregard 33, Winona 13. That quite a performance by LaDamian Webb. As he mentioned, we'll run down the specifics of those up against the break, though, I guess.
Up against the break here now.
We'll go ahead and take it. The Saturday
Gotta pay
Sports,
bills, man.
Well, that always helps. The Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown will return right after this.
If you've been putting off that new heating and air unit in your home because of the upfront expenses, Williams Plumbing of Alexander City now has primary financing from Synchrony and can now install brand new heating and cooling systems with 0 down, longer terms, and a competitive rate. Call Williams Plumbing at 256-329-8488 and get a free quote and terms and upgrade up to $35,000 in work with approved credit. Williams Plumbing stands behind their work with on-time affordable service for all your heating and air needs, as well as plumbing for 0 down financing and great service. Williams Plumbing.
Auburn Opelika has that perfect something for you. From sophisticated chic boutiques to exceptional dining, there's a retailer or restaurant to make your next visit special. Whether it's elegant fine dining or freshly squeezed lemonade, you'll find the perfect fit for every taste and budget. The food's great and the shopping is too, so be sure to check out the wide array of gifts, decor, clothing, and more. For every occasion, Auburn Opelika has what you're looking for. Let's make your next trip memorable. Visit Auburn Opelika.
At U.S. AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. AmeriBank difference. U.S. AmeriBank. Banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
No pest is too big or too small for Lex Wedgeworth Pest Control. Protect your home or business today from insects, termites, mosquitoes, and more. Lex uses the latest state-of-the-art technology and equipment to solve your pest problem, including the environmentally friendly Centricon termite baiting system. Lex has been servicing the Lake Martin area for over 35 years and has a full staff on hand. Call Lex today, even if it's just a question, at 256-234-6162. Lex Wedgeworth Pest Control. Smart solutions to your pest problems.
Russell Do It Center and Russell Building Supply is locally owned and operated with over 30 years experience providing a wide array of lumber, building materials, hardware, electrical and plumbing supplies, paint, tools, and garden products. Our employees' superior product knowledge and top-notch customer service allows us to help select the best products that will work for you. We provide free product estimates and takeoffs, free local delivery, and ask about our price match promise. Russell Do It Center and Russell Building Supply. Experience and knowledge from the pros.
This Black Friday is going to be big.
Get game-busting deals all month long during the Black Friday sales event at Bice Motors.
Award-winning vehicles, hard-hitting savings.
BiceChryslerDodge.com. This is the sale you've been waiting for.
Score big and save all month long during the Black Friday sales event at Bice Motors.
Be a winner. Buy it from Bice.
Come see us in Alex City.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. We running down the AHSAA playoffs, the crowning of the champions over the last 3 days. Of course, Brett and Randy and Luke all there calling many of these games for the AHSAA radio network. So got a bird's eye view up there from the press box at Jordan-Hare Stadium. A lot of us, of course, watched it on TV. I was out of the state, actually, though, in Kentucky, so I missed quite a bit of, heard a little bit of y'all's broadcast, though.
Okay.
Audio, but didn't get to see it in person. But a lot of local schools involved in these things. Of course, we talked about Opelika, talked about Handley a little bit, but Beauregard, a team that Benjamin Russell has become pretty familiar with the last several years. Unfortunately, getting the
bad end
of that matchup on several occasions. But Beauregard wins the state championship in 5A, 33-13. We talked about that, teased that a little bit in the previous segment. But what just a junior running back, an incredible performance from LaDamian Webb, setting, really rewriting the record book there. 359 yards rushing on 51 carries. Just really unbelievable. 5'9", 190 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is he squats over 500 pounds, and he is the toughest back I've ever seen to bring down as far as his ability to just kind of shed initial contact and get away from people. And just keep fighting and end up making big runs out of nothing where most people would lose, yards. He made it into positive gains. And to do that at that level for an entire game and tote the ball 51 times and not really even look like he was tired. I mean, that is a tremendous effort by a young man. But Beauregard did nothing special. They just spun around, handed in the ball, and he got it done. And they knew he was going to do it. Winona knew he was going to do it, and the game was close 14-13 going into the fourth quarter. But Winona got wore down up front by that offensive line for Beauregard, and there was just nothing they could do about it. I mean, that's when it becomes unfun, when you line up and you go, I know what they're about to do. I know what we got to do to stop them, but I can't. And that's what Beauregard did, and they just imposed their will on Winona and ended up pulling away at the end and winning that game pretty handily.
3,088 yards moved Webb into second place in the AHSAA record books for rushing in a single season. Just not only a tremendous game, but a tremendous season. He finished the game and the season with 3,242 yards.
Yeah. And
that ain't bad.
No, it's not bad.
But, again, Beauregard finished 404 yards on 68 rushing attempts. Just that, like you said, I mean, no secret. They only had 32 yards passing.
Well, they didn't
you
even
just
make
turn
an
around
effort
and
to
handle
throw.
it.
They didn't even make an effort to throw.
How would you?
I could have gone back there and won that state championship game just spinning around, handing the ball. I mean, really. I mean, it was 80% of their offense. 80% of what they did ran through LaDamian Webb.
Yeah.
And so, they have another junior tailback in Callaway that would come in and spill him every once in a while, and he looked good too. But the problem is, when you play with LaDamian Webb, you ain't gonna get many carries. So he'd be starting for most teams, and he has to stand over there and get whatever he can when he can. Now that kid's played a lot this year because LaDamian Webb ain't played much in the second half. So he's had most of the carries in the second half, which has made him an even better back. But it'll be interesting to see as LaDamian Webb heads into his senior season what he's able to do for Beauregard again. Can he get them back to another state championship game?
Is this guy, is LaDamian Webb a Division I prospect?
I think he is. I mean, because of his strength. Why do you need a 6'2" running back? You don't need a 6'2" running back. A lot of times, smaller running backs that are strong in the lower half end up being really good football players. And
Emmett Smith, 5'10".
That's what I'm saying. I mean, at some point in time, look at Yancey for Opelika over there on the defensive side of the ball. Opelika, he had 18 tackles last night. He's only 5'11". He weighs about 205 pounds. Just scrap all the intangibles. Let your eyeballs tell you that he runs around, makes every play on the field. Don't listen to and look at a stat sheet and say LaDamian Webb's only 5'9", 185 pounds. Go watch him and see what you think about him, make an analysis off that.
I believe we have a phone call.
Yeah, let's go to the phone. I think it might be Luke. Luke, is it you?
Yeah, guys, you got me?
Yeah, I got you, Luke. Thanks for calling in this morning. And you called right here at the end of this segment. But we'll start here and let you hold on, and we'll come back. We'll start with the high school playoffs, as you and I were over at Jordan Hare the last 3 days, and Andy and I have been talking about them for the most part of the show so far. But tremendous 3 days of football, as it always is, but it was capped off by a classic last night.
It was. I wasn't there in person for that last game, but I listened to you guys, and just absolutely remarkable performance by Ramsey. And you've got to think just incredible heartbreak for Opelika at the same time. This is the second time in, 4 years now that they have been to the state championship game and haven't been able to bring home the blue trophy. And they've got to feel bad about that because they were certainly the prohibitive favorite going into this game, I would say. I think that most everybody predicted Opelika would win that game, including myself. But you got to give Ramsey tons and tons of credit. This is a school that knows about winning. They've won state championships in basketball before. They seem to be at the finals every year when it comes to basketball. But you've never really associated them with being much of a football program. But my goodness, that quarterback they've got, I saw one of the highlights that Josh Bean tweeted out, that and the play didn't count. It's kind of reminiscent of George Teague chasing down Lamar Thomas. Everybody remembers the play, but the play actually didn't count. That's the same way it was last night with Harley and the touchdown pass. He somehow, some way throws the football, is caught for a touchdown, but it turns out, I guess, an illegal shift called it back. Is that right, Brett?
Illegal shift, and then they ended up scoring on the next play anyway, so it didn't matter. But, you're right. They just are his ability, sheer ability and strength just was too much for Opelika to handle.
Yeah, and again, just give them tons of credit. And then otherwise, just wrapping up the Super 7, Terrence Dunlap winning 3 straight MVPs. That's just remarkable. There's a running back whose name escapes me who scored 2 99-yard touchdowns in one game for Bob Jones this year. And the thing that strikes me about that is not necessarily that he scored 2 99 touchdown runs, but that he had the opportunity to. How often you start on your own 1-yard line? It's not very often. And if you do that, you don't start on your own 1-yard line twice in the same game. And even if you do that, nobody breaks free for 2 99-yard touchdown runs. So, the odds were just astronomical. And I think the same thing for anybody winning 3 straight MVPs in football. It's one thing to do it in basketball. There are 5 guys out there, and usually in high school, there's 1, maybe 2 guys that can really take over. And if you've got a kid that's a prodigy in the 9th grade, 10th grade, whatever, I can certainly see that happening. And we've seen it happen, I think, in girls basketball for sure. However, in football, there's so many more factors involved. And again, you've got 22 players that are playing defense and offense. So it's so much more difficult to win that award, and especially when you've got a wide receiver named Nathaniel Watson who's on your team, who's only a junior, who's pretty incredible in his own right. But that was a great story. LaDamian Webb, I mean, what else can you say about him? Every superlative you want to throw out, just a remarkable player. I look forward to seeing where his recruiting goes, because I don't know that he's Alabama-Auburn level, but he is definitely going to be, about like Terrence Dunlap, going to be an Illinois, Rutgers, Wake Forest kind of kid, in my opinion, and he's going to go somewhere and do well. And later on, when he's a junior and senior, I think Alabama and Auburn fans will be like, how did you let him get away? We will get to see Terrence Dunlap next week, of course, in Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. And then I think the overall theme for the playoffs was defense. Sooners' defense was absolutely incredible, just stifling McGill-Tulane, a team that had not been held fewer than 24 points all season long. They hold them to 7, and it was really a garbage touchdown. Then Maplesville, they give up 12 points, but the 12 points they give up was on a kickoff return and on an interception return. Their defense gave up 9. Then there was another shutout later on in Hanley's defense was absolutely incredible too, just really, really strong. So I thought defense ruled the day in Jordan-Hare.
Yeah, they did, and Ramsey shut down Opelika too, pretty much outside of the first drive of the game, and we'll close with that. Luke, I know it hurts to lose a game, but I've never seen a group more devastated than Opelika, and the way that game ended, inches away from getting a first down to keep the drive going, to have a chance to win, and when it looked like, they had all the momentum and they had scored on a fake punt, and then Ramsey botches the snap and they get a safety. But the 2 turnovers in special teams for Opelika just killed them, and it just seems like every time that you think it's Opelika's year, it's just not.
Yeah, but again, this program is on the cusp of greatness. The problem is eventually you have to break through. We've seen other programs, both in the NFL and the college ranks and in the high school ranks, that they get all these opportunities, and eventually you have to break through, or you will start coming back towards the pack. It'll be overwhelming mentally, I think, for the whole program. But Opelika's got some great leadership. You got to give them a lot of credit because they make it this far without Jake Bentley. I mean, let's not forget, he should be their quarterbacking. Instead, he's quarterbacking the South Carolina Gamecocks. And I don't want to take away anything from their current offensive staff or quarterback, but I feel like if Jake Bentley were on that team, not only do I think they would have won the state championship, I think they might have gone undefeated. So it's just one of those things, though. I mean, it's sometimes you have teams that something always seems to keep them from winning the big prize. And Opelika has nothing to hang their heads about. But again, as I started off with, you've got to be disappointed that now you've been in Jordan-Hare Stadium twice in the last 4 years, and you come away with the red trophy instead of the blue trophy both times.
Exactly what I said earlier. Luke, if you'll hang on, Andy, we'll take it to break here, and we'll come back and we'll talk about the championship games today, okay?
Don't go anywhere. More Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by S&S Discount Tire right after this.
Nissan, it's time to zero in on huge savings at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. 0% financing is back in a big way on many of your favorite Nissan models, but only for a limited time. Buy today and save up to $11,000 off MSRP on remaining 2016s as we make room for the 2017. Get up to $7,000 off MSRP on the new Altima SL or 0% for 72 months. Just click it and pick it now at lynchnissan.com. Lynch Nissan of Auburn, I-85 at exit 51.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Lyman Ward Military Academy in Camp Hill, Alabama, known worldwide for programs and outstanding facilities designed to prepare young men for future success. Young men who are academically prepared for a rapidly evolving economy, morally prepared through character development and spiritual guidance, physically challenged by preparing for athletic competition, and prepared to be leaders in their careers through the structure of military discipline. Lyman Ward Military Academy, over a century of preparing youth for the work of life.
I'm attorney Dane Sharp. Here at my office, we want to be different than the big city billboard lawyers. We want to give your case the personal attention that it deserves. We handle auto accidents, tractor-trailer accidents, and other cases where our clients have been injured and need personal legal attention. To me and my staff, you will not just be another number on the case file, and we will return your phone calls. So if you've been injured, give me a call today or visit us on our website.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, SignSource, Lee Apparel, R&B Media, and LMG Baker Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach, from logo design and branding to ad placement and everything in between.
Boaters and
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, SignSource, Lee Apparel, R&B Media, and LMG Baker Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach, from logo design and branding to ad placement and everything in between. LMG can handle it all. For ease of time, cutting-edge, results-driven marketing campaigns, think LMG. Lee Marketing Group, your comprehensive marketing solution.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by Sports Blitz and S&S Discount Tire. Andy and Brett here with you until noon today. We're talking about the Super 7, the Alabama High School Athletic Association playoffs that took place over the last several days. Brett and I were talking about running down, of course, the classification champions. We've got Luke Robinson here on the phone. He was down in Jordan-Hare Stadium as well, giving his thoughts on some of the games that took place over the last several days.
Yeah, Luke, we'll segue out of that and say one last thing that I hadn't had a chance to say, but we had over 65,000 people tune in the broadcast online over the last 3 days. Just a phenomenal number, just exploded this year, and our numbers for the finals in basketball this past year were over 30,000. I mean, our numbers on the network are just growing and growing, and can't thank our affiliates enough, but all the people that find us online with the online stream. I can't thank Stacy Mills and Michael Forehand and everybody involved enough. Production, over 30 hours of broadcast, never went down one time over the last 3 days. Luke, the network is as strong as it's ever been the last 7 years. And we're continuing to grow. And Knight Eady with their event management, with the events, the HSA as a whole is as strong as it's been ever in the state.
Yeah, we've come a long way from that time me and Randy had to pass our cell phone back and forth, didn't we?
Yeah, and still that is a backup plan in absolute dire emergency. So don't think that can't happen again. But we have made tremendous strides for sure. But well over 65,000 people listening on the online stream was phenomenal over a 3-day period.
It is, and we appreciate everybody that listens. The thing that I think is great about the way that we set it up, I think each of us brings something pretty unique to the table, a different perspective on the various games, because you don't just want the cookie-cutter color guy and play-by-play guy. I think it's good to have different voices out there. I'll be the first to admit that I'm not an X's and O's guy. I mean, it's never fascinated me that much. I think I look at a football game and I sort of call what I see, disregarding a lot of the technical aspects of it. But you've got a guy like John Holder who knows more about the history of the state of high school football and basketball. He seems to be a rather encyclopedia of all things AHSA. And then, of course, Randy is more technical. He knows more. And then you've got a passionate voice for it. Tommy Wood has maybe the most melodic tones in all of Alabama. And then we got Jeremy Jeffcoat, who I know loves high school football. So I think everybody brings something pretty unique to the table, and it sort of switches up the atmosphere for each game, which I think is fun.
Yeah, it does, and appreciate everybody being a part of it and the hard work they put in. Let's slide over and talk about Alabama today, guys. And Andy, I'll let you kick it off with Luke here, talking about Alabama in this SEC championship game. I know, Luke, before you called in, we talked about the relevancy of SEC of championship games, period, with the way this is moving with playoffs. And Andy, you brought up a point. If they don't do something, they're gonna render these championship games irrelevant.
Yeah, it seems like the playoff just kind of did that. It's kind of an unintended consequence, I guess, maybe, of that. But just specifically looking at it today, Alabama. Really, maybe Alabama has rendered this game meaningless more than maybe the playoff has in the last couple of years anyway. But this is a rematch again of last year's SEC title game. Florida pretty much looks about like they did last year offensively coming into this game, non-existent really. Alabama heavily favored in this game. Maybe the most interesting thing would be, Luke, what would have to happen for Florida to win this game?
Oh, I mean, the only thing I could really think about would be if Jalen Hurts got hurt and then the defense missed the bus. I mean, those are the only things I can think about. I hate to sound so cocky about it,
but it's not.
I just looked at this Florida team. They've got so many people hurt. They've got so many things going wrong offensively. And I felt really good about this championship game ever since I saw Jim McElwain's emotional reaction to winning the SEC East in LSU when he really teared up. And I thought to myself, he looks like a guy who that was his championship game. He doesn't really worry about the next two games. And sure enough, they didn't even score an offensive touchdown against Florida State. They didn't look very good in that game. And I think today they're going to have trouble scoring a touchdown offensively as well. Now, they got one on a punt return last time Alabama and Florida played in the SEC championship game, so I guess it could happen again. Antonio Callaway is a threat. But this all goes back to a little bit about the SEC East not holding up their end of the bargain right now. And somebody's got to take control in that division to make this interesting again. Overall, the championship games aren't going to go anywhere. They make a lot of money. I do understand your point about the relevancy and where is it headed, because it seems like, I mean, what's the point in playing Penn State and Wisconsin at this point? Because neither one of them's getting in. I mean, I just don't see it happening. I don't see Penn State jumping Michigan. Should Clemson lose? And if Alabama loses, Alabama's still in. So what's the point of even playing that game? I totally understand it. But, the fabric of college football is woven within conference championships and bowl games, and it means a lot. I don't want college football to be high school football, and I don't want college football to be NFL. I don't want it to be something where I listened on the way up here, on the way to Birmingham, about somebody, I think it was Mel, oh my gosh, Mel, the draft guy, Mel Kiper. Mel Kiper was talking about, well, if this, I wish we had 18 playoffs so USC could get in. And my first thought was, they lost 3 games. That's so anti-college football. I mean, in pro football, I guess an 8-18 can win the Super Bowl. And if you're into that sort of thing, hey, I'm all for it. But my whole life, and college football's entire life, has been about teams and games meaning everything just about every week. And you don't win a national championship with 3 losses. You just don't get an opportunity. You win those games. I'm sorry that you lost to Alabama 52-6 because you had the wrong quarterback in. I mean, that's your fault. And I'm sorry that you lost to, I think they lost to Utah, and they lost to, I can't remember who else they lost to, but you got to win those games to be involved. And a 4-team playoff is plenty because it's already devalued not only the playoffs, it really devalued the Iron Bowl if you think about it. I mean, Alabama went on and won the Iron Bowl, and that's great. And, in the state, that's bragging rights and yada, yada, yada. But in the end, that Iron Bowl meant very, very little because Alabama was going to play for the conference championship anyway. And even if they had lost, they'd still be going to play for the championship.
Yeah, and you're right. In the same breath, in your argument, is exactly why the conference championship games don't matter really anymore. I mean, you got the two of the biggest conferences in the country, probably the 2 main conferences in the SEC and the Big Ten right now. Alabama could lay an egg today and still go to the championship, and the winner of the Big Ten isn't getting in, period. So why play their game? The only thing you have, if you're Alabama, is you're worried about getting somebody hurt. The current setup isn't going to work, and it's going to be a conflict moving forward, and that's just the way it is. If you want to go back to a conference, and you're right, I mean, they're going to have to figure something out because of the money. But if you want a conference champion, just, take the best record every year. And if you got co-conference champions, so what? But the tiebreaker, you got one real champion. But if records are the same, you can claim whatever like the SEC used to do. But they're going to have to figure out some system because this one's not going to work much longer.
Well, I think what we're finding out is there is no perfect system. And frankly, I'm okay with that. I mean, the bowl system, the old bowl system back in '92, let's go back there when Alabama won a national championship and everybody was scared that the Florida SEC championship game would cost Alabama a shot at the title. And it almost did. But it ended up not doing it, and that changed the way everybody looked at championship games forever. But I was okay with the bowls. I wasn't necessarily okay with it because I thought there were too many tie-ins, but I understood the bowl tie-ins, and it was a very traditional thing. Then you go to the BCS. Well, everybody's got a problem with that because the computers are involved, and let's make it more of a human thing. Okay, let's make it more of a human thing. Then we have the playoff, and everybody's upset with that because now we got a committee, and some people think that the way you're playing late should mean more than the way you're playing early. And see, to me, I think you need to look at the whole body of work. The playing late versus playing early thing, that's a college basketball thing. That's not a college football thing. There are too few games to use that judgment in college football. So there is no perfect system. We could go to the NFL style if everybody wanted to. You want to put 8 teams in there? Okay, but what that means is, what if today? What if Jalen Hurts did get hurt? What if Jonathan Allen sprained his ankle and Tim Williams got turf toe? What if all that happened and Florida messed around and won the SEC championship? Would you not be a little bit disgusted that a team that laid a complete egg against Florida State really has no offense to speak of, lost to Tennessee, lost big time to Arkansas, gets to play for a national championship? I think that's totally against what college football is. In the NFL, I mean, the Tennessee Titans can win their junkie division and get in the playoffs and maybe make it to the Super Bowl, but that's the NFL, and that's more of a fantasy football gambling sport now. College football, to me, is the last bastion of tradition left in all of sports, and I want to keep it that way somehow, some way. And I'm okay with there's no perfect system to determine a champion, but this 4-team playoff is about as close as we're going to get.
Well, Luke, that all sounds pretty good. You like Penn State or Wisconsin?
I'm going to go with Penn State just because for a very non-traditional reason, because I like the show Key and Peele, and Michael Keegan Key, or Keegan Michael Key, I can't remember his name. But the Key guy went to Penn State. He's really funny. He was on game day today. He's a really funny guy. And I just like the way Penn State's playing. And I also think that the college football gods want Penn State to win this thing, because if Wisconsin wins, there's no way, no chance they're getting in, because they lost to Ohio State and Michigan. But if Penn State wins, there's going to be an outcry to move Ohio State out of there and put Penn State in because they won the title. No, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it should happen.
I'll be leading the charge for that.
Well, he said he'd be leading the charge for that, Luke, if it does happen, because of the conference championship and the way everything's laid out. Look, you're right. You go on and on for days and not come up with a perfect solution. It's just not out there. But I'd rather have a human element involved rather than the computer, because they can at least make some judgments on things based on things that computers can't weigh in on. So interesting stuff. I agree with you on a lot of it, and we'll see where it goes from here. Luke, appreciate it. See you Tuesday.
All right, guys. See you later.
Thanks so much.
Stick around. More Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown on the way right after this.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At U.S. AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. AmeriBank difference. U.S. AmeriBank. Banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hello, I'm State Farm Agent Karen Chanel. I specialize in helping families and individuals like yourself in the Alexander City and Lake Martin communities. With over 20 years experience with State Farm and a dynamic team of licensed professionals, I am committed to helping you manage the risk of everyday life. And we not only consider it an honor, but a privilege to assist you in meeting your insurance and financial services needs. Whether you call in, click in, or walk in, I sincerely look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Jackson Refrigeration is Central East Alabama's Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer. With rapid response time and on-budget pricing, we're Central East Alabama's and the area's authorized Goodman Heating and Air dealer. We make your peace of mind easy and give you peace of mind when it comes to your heating and air needs. As a Superior Solutions dealer, Jackson Refrigeration can help save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Jackson Refrigeration works on all existing brands and units and has the team to solve your heating and cooling needs, no matter the season.
And I know when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh.
You can count on the caring team at Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation. Our services include physical, speech, and occupational therapy. Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation, 256-329-9061.
In a world that's ever-changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. At Central Alabama Community College, you'll know you made the best choice. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a 4-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, get a sharper focus on your life by choosing one of our 3 convenient locations: Alex City, Childersburg, and Talladega. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you. Central to your success.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown here. Until noon, we'll be with you, Andy and Brett, talking about the conference championships game going on around the country today. We're, of course, talking about the SEC championship, Alabama and Florida. The Pac-12 championship last night, Washington defeated Colorado 41-10. Western Michigan defeated Ohio 29-23. Some other college football games actually underway right now. The Conference USA championship game going on. Western Kentucky hosting Louisiana Tech. Actually, I was in Bowling Green over the weekend where Western Kentucky is located. My nephew now is a student at WKU, and oddly enough, the Hilltoppers, oddly enough, it's 3-3 right now, but 4 50-yard line tickets and a parking pass was sent to my brother-in-law and sister's house, meant for someone else. They sent them back. They sent them back to them.
Really?
Yeah, so I don't know whatever happened to the tickets, but there were 4, and they were a scholarship donor. I mean, apparently this guy had actually donated money for a scholarship, and I don't know if he ever got his tickets, but I don't think they really look at it quite the same way as we do.
They don't. I don't think, and
No.
I'm sure that guy probably was able to find him some tickets.
Maybe
where
so.
he
Maybe
wanted
so.
to go, but
my nephew wanted to scalp him.
I was going to say, I mean, I
And
figured,
you know what I told
any
you?
college, any full-blooded college student that would appreciate any extra money would be doing that.
I said they might not know what scalping is down here. I don't know.
They probably don't. They probably don't. Right now that game going on, Temple and Navy underway right now. It is just barely underway. Temple with the opening possession there. It looks like they're going to punt to Navy, but the way things are going in college football, I mean, we could sit here and debate all this, but it is championship weekend. Where do you see this in 5 years? Do you see conference championship games? Do you see them in, or do you see this as a first round playoff game? What do you? How are they going to incorporate it? I mean, it's going to be college football has just been a work in progress the last 15 years in an evolution, I think, of trying to come up with some way. And Luke said it. I mean, you're not going to ever find anything that's perfect where you got and a lot of times it works itself out. But a couple of years ago when Ohio State won the national championship, it was debated whether they were even going to squeak in that first playoff. Remember, they were the 4th team, and everybody was like, "Well, I don't know, man. I don't think." And then they make it in, and the 4th seed in the first year wins the national championship, and a lot of people didn't feel like they needed to be there. So there you go. Luke's argument's always been, some of these teams don't deserve an opportunity to play for a championship if they've had a year that's a little subpar, if they're on the outside looking in. But, some of these teams sometimes catch lightning in the bottle and peak and start playing better at the right times. But there's no perfect scenario that you're going to find. If you're looking for it, you're wasting your time.
No, that's for sure. That's the one thing that I think we can certainly all count on, that there will not be a perfect solution. But I think it eventually goes to 8 teams. I really do. I just think there's too much money to be made. I think there's too much sense to that, because you can easily make an argument, I think, for a 5th team deserving to be a part of the playoff. I don't think you can make that compelling an argument for a 9th team to make the playoff. I think you could easily see 8 teams this year that are good enough, certainly, to play, and then maybe have played their way into. USC, yes, they do have 3 losses, but they certainly are, a very good team. I think certainly Wisconsin and Penn State both, have an opportunity to at least have made some meaningful, have some meaningful wins this year. So I think eventually it probably moves to that, and if that happens, you definitely have to probably eliminate conference championships, because you're going to be playing, a couple of 2 extra games. So I think it
Well, why don't
eventually
you? I
goes
mean,
away.
here's the thing. Why can't you have 6 teams? And why can't you have the 6 teams and you have the way things the way it's played out? You have a situation where you got your conference champions, and then you have your top 2 seeds get a bye in the deal, because there ought to be some type of award or reward for being ranked number 1 or number 2 in the country. So let them have a bye the first week and let the other 4 play. And then you start playoff that way. And then, but I know everybody goes, well, if you get 6, you got 8, and you got 8, you want 10, all that. Not really. I mean, that encompasses your argument. Look, I'm not Al Gore saying I invented the internet over here and everybody had thoughts, but a long time ago, I said at the beginning of Sports Blitz, when we're talking about bowls and how to incorporate things, I said, why not incorporate the major bowls into a playoff system? Because everybody wanted to keep the bowls, and everybody was like, well, if you go playoff, then you're going to lose the bowls. No, why can't you use both? Well, they're doing that now, okay? I wish I'd have been in the right position to talk about that at the right time. And then now, what's wrong with my scenario of doing 6 teams? I mean, it's not that many. It's 2 more, and you give a reward for finishing first and second in the country. That's worth something. So you get that bye and let the other 4 teams play. I mean, I don't see any harm in that. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, 6 teams, you could do 5 conference champions and 1, play-in or 1.
Well, I agree with that. However you want to do the 6 teams, I don't care. But you do your 5 conference champions, you get that wild card or whatever to come in, but let the first 2, the top seeded teams too, have a bye the first week in the playoffs. Let them sit out, because there ought to be an advantage for them.
There ought to be.
There ought to be an advantage.
A
reward for finishing first or second. I'm sorry. I mean, right now the current system, you stick 4 teams in there. I mean, it doesn't matter really. 1, 2, 3, or 4. If you're in, you're in.
Makes sense to me. I think you ought to set it up.
Who do we need to call? Who do we need to call?
Well, that's the question I've been asking all my life. Who do I need to call?
Yeah.
I
have been dialing the wrong number for many years, Andy. I tell you that.
You and me both.
But anyway, it is what it is. We'll probably need to go ahead and try to catch a break, because I think we're break behind.
I think you probably are correct.
Okay.
And that was probably what that signal was.
Okay. All right.
We'll go ahead and take a break, but we shall return with more Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown, presented by S&S Discount Tire, after these messages.
Purchasing a new home is easier than you think, and America's Home Place can show you the way. For over 41 years, we've built thousands of homes for people just like you. We guide you through the entire process, from purchasing a lot, finding financial options, to putting the finishing touches on your beautiful new house. Come tour our showroom and see over 100 customizable floor plans. Visit us online at americashomeplace.com/TV for a free floor plan book. America's Home Place. We make building easy.
Boaters in the Lake Martin area know whether you need service, maintenance, repairs, a great selection of pre-owned boats, or a brand new Landau pontoon. Alex City Marine at the corner of 63 and 280 is there for you. Thanks to a record-setting sales year, Alex City Marine now has one of the finest pre-owned inventories they've ever had. Repairs, service, routine maintenance, for all your boating needs. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine at the corner of 63 and 280. Check them out online at alexcitymarine.com.
If you knew that underage drinking starts at younger ages than ever before, even in elementary school, you would talk to your kids about drinking right now, wouldn't you? If you knew that kids who drink are more likely to be involved in violence, school failure, or injury, you'd do what you could to prevent it, right?
Alcohol is a drug, and we need you to help us understand that before it's too late. Choose to refuse to lose your team to the dangers of underage drinking.
Meet the new Met of East Central Alabama, David Chabot. By new Met, we mean MetLife Auto and Home. With MetLife's 146-year reputation and David's 18 years of local insurance experience, you and your family get the best coverage, rates, and service for auto, home, life, or business. Ask about MetLife's Grand Protect policy. If your home were destroyed by a covered loss, MetLife pays the full replacement cost. No depreciation and no cap. That's the peace of mind that only MetLife can deliver. Meet the new Met, David Chabot of MetLife Auto and Home, 334-321-7250 or davidchabot.metlife.com.
This Black Friday is going to be big.
Get game-busting deals all month long during the Black Friday sales event at Bice Motors.
Award-winning vehicles, hard-hitting savings.
BiceChryslerDodge.com. This is the sale you've been waiting for.
Score big and save all month long during the Black Friday sales event at Bice Motors.
Be a winner. Buy it from Bice.
Come see us in Alex City.
Choosing a new roof or having to repair your roof can be very stressful. Preferred Roofing knows when it comes to your roof, you need not only the best product, but more importantly, you need a reliable and trustworthy roofing company to install it. That company is Preferred Roofing. Working for both commercial and residential properties, you can trust our licensed and trained roofing contractors. Don't wait any longer. Call us today at 334-202-5483 or contact us on the web at preferredcontractorsllc.com.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown here, oddly enough, on Saturday. I am Andy Graham. He is Brett Pritchard.
Innovative thought that
I'm
is.
telling you. It's funny how that worked out.
And, it is just, we come up with some good
Y'all
ideas.
are on the ball.
We are.
We're talking about, of course, everything going on in the world of sports. It is championship Saturday. A lot of conference championships games going on, some going on right now. Temple taking a 7-0 lead on Navy in Annapolis. Western Kentucky up 10-3 on Louisiana Tech in the Conference USA championship game. I think actually La Tech beat them in the regular season like 55-52, so chances are that may be a
lot of defense.
Yeah, very interesting game moving forward. Talking about the future of the college football playoff system, the conference championship games. Will we see them in the same facet that we see them today moving forward, because it seems that they are being rendered somewhat irrelevant moving forward.
I want to slide over and get away from this for a while. Talk about Auburn for a second. Auburn sitting there at number 13 in the college football playoff ranking. If Florida, when Florida loses, let me just say that, when Florida loses and gets bumped down, they're probably going to get bumped totally out. LSU would be right behind Auburn. 2 SEC teams outside Alabama ranked in the top 25. It has been a weak year. And to go along with that, Auburn's going to the Sugar Bowl at 8-4, which also puts an exclamation mark on the statement. It's a weak year. In SEC, because it is. And I know Auburn lost 2 games early. They really, and then they've lost 2 games right here at the end. So they sandwiched somewhere in the middle a pretty decent season, but they didn't start good and they didn't finish good. And the start was on Gus Malzahn for sure because of the harebrained game plan and offensive scheme. Not going to give him all the blame on the end of the year because of the injuries and. Although you should have been able to figure something out in the second half against Georgia. To get a little bit of movement of the football, but couldn't do it, ended up losing the game.
Now, wait a minute. Are you saying that 64 yards and 1 first down in between a second half of Georgia and a first half of Alabama is not?
That's not getting it done.
That's not getting it done.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that might agree with
64
me.
total yards.
That's pathetic. And I know everybody knows we're being funny a little bit, but in reality, it's not funny because, frankly, it's embarrassing. And again, I want to go back and say, yeah, I think it's great that Auburn's going to the Sugar Bowl. I think that's a New Year's Six bowl. Good Lord, man, college football, they are scrounging for teams to feel. I mean, it's just a bad year overall, and the SEC had a subpar year, and Alabama set themselves apart from everybody. And I don't know. The frustrating thing is Auburn could have still won 10 games. They could have won some of those games early. And, the injuries, whatever you can say. But Gus Malzahn catching criticism because of his play calling with Rhett Lashley and the way the season ended and the way the season begun. That's the sour taste. And the Sugar Bowl is supposed to be sweet. You're supposed to taste sugar now, okay? You're supposed to feel good about it. I feel good about the game, but there's so many Auburn fans I've talked to that, well, man, this is just this isn't what you would think of your typical Sugar Bowl bound team.
Well, let Auburn win it, and they'll feel a lot better about it.
They'll definitely will. That was the caveat that I was going to bring up in just a minute. You beat me to the punch. That changes the whole dynamic. If Auburn's healthy and they go out there and they line up against Oklahoma or Oklahoma State and they pound them with a run game, they stuff them on defense and they win by 17 points, now everybody's like, well, this is – and then the committee goes, well, this is why we kept them at number 13. Because this is what we knew they could do.
Well, really, when you look at it, take the records out of it.
But Auburn's got to get better with imagination on offense. I don't give a rip, healthy or not. The play calling's terrible right now.
Well, the list of Auburn's what's wrong with their offense is a long one. Sophisticated.
Well, it starts with the head man.
Yeah, it does. There's no
Stat
question about
Tiger,
that.
Andy, you read it.
I did. Yeah.
It's the best thing I've ever read in analysis of. I mean, but it was the truth, and that's that. I put that. I retweeted that out, and I said, "This is reality. This is not. I'm mad as a fan, or I'm trying to make excuses as a fan. This is the truth, and if you don't want to read the truth, then you're trying to live in a world that doesn't exist. You need to accept what the truth is."
I agree. I don't think it could have been said any better. And you could tell there was some. Usually, that guy, if you read his stuff quite a bit, he's very
complimentary,
and he's very unemotional about things.
He really is.
It's all about numbers and things like that, and he backs up everything, and he really gets in between the numbers, and brings out stuff like that. But there was some passion in that, and it was quite a bit of just frustration. I think you could tell it in some of the words he said. One of them that it's wretched that you run the ball 77% of the time. You don't. I mean,
barbaric.
He
used the word barbaric.
Your passing game is barbaric to the point of you run 3/4 of the time you're running one-man routes. You can't. This will not work.
And you run 77%. You run 77% of the time on first down. I don't know what else you want to talk about.
Let's put a pin in that and take a break.
Okay.
And then come back and we'll talk about that. Look, the SEC, you're right, it's down. But I'd say Auburn is probably the second best team in the SEC. When you look at the team,
they are by default.
Their record
by
default, but still
doesn't mean you got to be happy with the results. I think that's what I've been looking to say, and I just got it out. You're second by default, but doesn't mean you're happy with how you got there. Okay, there's ways to do things and make you feel better about the program. There's still something in the back there that makes me feel uneasy about the way our offense is and the way our team is as a whole. Smoke and mirrors, man.
Up against the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this.
How expensive can kids really be? All they need is love, and love is free, right? They're tiny. How much stuff can they really use? I'm still gonna get a new car every year and take the best vacations. Maui, here we come.
Life can surprise you. So can an Allstate agent. Only they can get you 2 safe driving bonus checks a year because every little bit helps. The good hands are doing more than ever before.
Call your Alexander City Allstate agent, Alice Palmer, to learn more today at 256-215-3833.
Do you know that C&T Electric offers a home protection plan for your electrical system? Are you wondering what this is or why you need one? Just like your heating, cooling, and plumbing systems, your electrical system needs to be maintained also. With C&T Electric's home protection plan, you receive annual electrical safety inspections, priority service when you call, discounts on all electrical services, and the dispatch fee is waived on all calls. Call C&T Electric at 256-234-0007 today.
Got your eye on a new Nissan? It's time to zero in on huge savings at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. 0% financing is back in a big way on many of your favorite Nissan models, but only for a limited time. Buy today and save up to $11,000 off MSRP on remaining 2016s as we make room for the 2017s. Get up to $5,000 off MSRP on the new Rogue SL or 0% for 72 months. Just click it and pick it now at lynchnissan.com. Lynch Nissan of Auburn, I-85 at exit 51.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Did your team just win the big game? Are you looking for a unique way to honor a valuable employee? Lila's Engraving has you covered, offering a large selection of custom trophies and plaques. Lila's also offers cast aluminum car tags, custom engraved wine glasses, clocks, and wood cutting boards. They even offer custom framing for any art or picture as well. Lila's combines the best quality items with the fastest service around. With over 27 years of experience in the Alexander City and Lake Martin areas, Lila's Engraving is your only choice for custom awards and engraved gifts. Always remember, winners choose Lila's.
I'm attorney Dane Sharp. If you've been injured in an auto accident, don't choose an attorney simply because they have flashy television commercials and tons of billboards. Call a local attorney who can give your case the personal attention it needs and deserves. For over 20 years, I've handled hundreds of auto accidents, and I take pride in the personal service we provide and the results we obtain for our clients. So if you've been injured, give me a call today and put our team to work for you.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown here. A few more segments left in today's show. We were talking about Auburn when we left off in the last segment. Looks like if things go according to what we think
we're
they
in the
will,
Sugar Bowl.
We'll go to the Sugar Bowl.
We're in.
Auburn will be 8-4, but it looks like maybe some good news on the recruiting front. Of course, Jared Stidham, the former Baylor quarterback, he sat out this year. He was injured there at Baylor. He was a former 5-star athlete there from Texas. Tremendous dual threat quarterback.
Big kid,
strong arm, fast, athletic. Perfect fit for the Auburn offense. It looks good. A lot of signs pointing that when a coach spends 12 hours in a home, I mean, short of Jim Harbaugh spending the night or climbing up in the tree in the front yard, I think that's a pretty good sign.
What grown men do, man? I'm telling you. I guess I mean, he's hanging out at 12 hours. I'm what we're referring to is Rhett Lashley on an in-house visit. Justin just sent us a text message on that, and in-house visit out there with Stidham and his family, and apparently Texas A&M's kind of backed down a little bit. What? I didn't know what to read into that. It was like Florida may have, but I thought he took Florida off the list this past week. He said he might make a visit with Florida, but I thought he had eliminated Florida and added
Texas A&M's not
but
out.
Added another team. Well, that's up to date. I mean, that's like in the last few hours.
They were saying Texas may have with
Herman.
With Herman coming on board, may have. Of course, they've got a freshman quarterback that looks pretty good. Of course, the record.
You know, a lot of times it's about, look, the things on the outside and coaches moving around in programs and, hey, I wanted to be at this place one time and I ended up being here. That's what he did. He wanted to go to Texas A&M. But they had 3 quarterbacks, and so he went to Baylor and then he get hurt. It's all about a feel from this point on. Where do you feel more comfortable? It's not about Texas. It's not about Auburn. It's not about Florida. It's not about A&M. It's not about facilities and Kyle Field and versus Jordan-Hare Stadium or versus the Swamp or – it's about where Jarrett Stidham feels like he can go and be successful as a quarterback and where he feels like he's going to be comfortable fitting in, coming in, and where's his best opportunity to play immediately. Because this guy, he wants to get back on the field. He wants to play, and all these teams are after him. And where is he going to go where he can get that opportunity immediately? I mean, everybody's talking about, well, Sean White, will be back next year for Auburn. Sean White has proven, unfortunately, and I hate the world of business sometimes, but it is what it is. Sean White is not durable, Andy. He is not intentionally, but through injury has let the team down 2 years in a row by not being able to stay healthy. That's not his fault. He can't help that he's the size he is. He's a gritty, gutsy quarterback, and I commend him for everything he does as far as his effort. But if you can't make it through a full year and you've done this twice now, what makes you think you're going to come back and do it again next year? And Auburn is thinking that in the back of their mind, and it's not going to be a pretty sight at the end of the day. I mean, because in one way, everybody's going to say, well, Auburn just turned their back on Sean White. He gave him 2 years, he got hurt, blah, blah, and they went out and got this guy, and they benched him. And I do think John Franklin III's gone. I don't think he'll be back. I think he's out, and he'll go somewhere else.
Remember, Stidham got hurt at Baylor. So you probably need both of them.
Well, I mean, you probably do.
That's one of Auburn's biggest problems, too.
But the thing about Sean White is he's been a starter for the last 2 years, Andy. Yeah. And once you get established as that, you don't revert back to accepting, well, I'm just going to go stand over here and hold my helmet and maybe get the call if Stidham goes down with a blown knee. I mean, although I don't know what his choices are, Sean White's choices are, at this point it's just the cards that you've been dealt in life.
Well, Stidham ain't at Auburn yet.
I'm just saying if it happened and where it would go from there. I'm not saying Jarrett Stidham's at Auburn. I'm saying
one of their biggest problems is not having a capable backup in the last.
Well, where's Woody Barrett fall in? I'm not going to say. We got some pretty good inside information while we were at Auburn this week from a very reliable source. I'm not going to mention their name. That said Woody Barrett ain't got it.
Really?
So there you go. I mean, more disappointment.
I appreciate you raining on my parade.
You wondered why he didn't pull the red shirt and why he ain't going to Georgia. Maybe that makes more sense now. Maybe from a fan standpoint, when you're wanting somebody to do something, why you're out there clamoring, put him in. Maybe because they knew he ain't no good. And but how many more busts is Gus Malzahn going to sign? And then at what point in time does it become his fault that he can't develop somebody? Because they're not just handing 4-star ratings out to all these quarterbacks for no reason. Okay?
Well, Brandon Harris.
He busted at LSU. Deshaun Watson didn't.
Is it fair to say more bust than Boone? Yes, I would say far more.
Was that a Freudian slip, Boone?
Well,
I don't know.
Here's the bottom line, though, and here's the underlining, I think the salient point here. Even if Jarrett Stidham decides to come to Auburn, it's not going to solve every problem. Everything you mentioned, you referenced that.
I know that. I agree.
That is still in effect. All those things are still a reality. Now it'll make it better.
Would that prevent Stidham from coming maybe in the back of his mind, looking at the bizarre, I don't want to come here and tank because they won't call the right plays. Stat Tiger, and I wish I had it in front of me, I could pull it up before the show's over, but do we not know there's a tight end position available? Do we not know?
Scored a touchdown.
Well, one pass in the last 25 games to tight end scored a touchdown. Do we not know we can run a slant? Was Melvin Ray's slant pattern across the middle against Florida the last slant we've thrown? Florida State. in the national championship game in the first half. Is that the last time we've thrown a slant? I don't. Why do we not? Where's the running back? Lo and behold, if we ever threw a running back screen, I might sprint out of the stadium. I mean, where is the imagination? We run the same stuff over and over. Speed sweep, dive plays, post in the passing game. That's it.
I am aware.
You and I don't make $4 million a year.
No.
But I can come up with that game plan. I can come up with that game plan.
I think we're going to go ahead and take another break.
Let's do it.
I think we need to after that conversation.
Yeah, I'm sick.
But we will return right after this with more Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by S&S Discount Tire.
Purchasing a new home is easier than you think, and America's Home Place can show you the way. For over 41 years, we've built thousands of homes for people just like you. We guide you through the entire process from purchasing a lot, finding financial options, to putting the finishing touches on your beautiful new house. Come tour our showroom and see over 100 customizable floor plans. Visit us online at americashomeplace.com/TV for a free floor plan book. America's Home Place. We make building easy.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Excitement awaits you on beautiful Lake Martin. Alex City Guide Service can provide you with a charter trip of a lifetime. Licensed charter guide David Hare has over 20 years of experience on Lake Martin, specializing in live bait fishing for trophy-sized saltwater striped bass, largemouth bass, and spotted bass. Call Alex City Guide Service today at 256-401-3089 or visit them online at www.alexcityguideservice.com.
Your comfort is our #1 concern. Advanced Heat and Air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's train dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our #1 concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
Gotta get to Gill's Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gill's. Selection and price, got to get to Gill's. Gotta get to Gill's.
Did you know that Gill's Auto Sales now features the Prestige Selection at their North Lake and Opelika locations? Gill's Auto Sales now has over 100 Prestige vehicles in stock. Newer models, low mileage with bank financing available. Come see the Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales North Lake location and their new Opelika location. Gotta get to Gill's.
Yamaha is beating the field in just about every category of motorsport products, offering unbelievable performance, handling, features, technology, and at prices that are blowing everyone's mind, especially the competition. Visit Twin City Yamaha on Stage Road in Auburn.
Hi, this is Scott Tway with Twin Cities Yamaha in Auburn. Isn't it about time to put some fun back in your life? Call us and see what we mean. 334-821-0439 or on the web at www.twincitiesyamaha.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown here. Andy and Brett here with a couple more segments in today's show, taking you up to the noon hour.
Yeah, we got a quick segment here.
Quick segment here.
Quick segment.
We're going to break here. Now,
update Temple 14, Navy nothing. Navy just fumbled again, and I mean,
not this was not expected really by me.
No, not in Navy's place. They're playing number 19 Navy, but you know what? Temple 9-3, Navy 9-2, and The coach for Navy said he was concerned about this game because they've been able to out-physical everybody this year, and he was concerned they wouldn't be able to do that against Temple, wear them down. Obviously, it's the other way around right now.
A lot of people even openly rooting against Navy in this game because of the bowl. Lining up the bowl because they still have to play Army later on because that one's not until, I think next week. So
they want to go ahead and get to the...
Yeah. And Navy it would have been a conference champion, they would have maybe factored into the, the bowl, the sixth bowl.
If Temple scores here, it's going to make it pretty tough.
Navy not built to come back.
No, they're not.
Overcome big leads.
They're not, and they're down 14-0 with Temple driving again with about 30 seconds. That's a quick update. We'll go to break, Andy, and we'll come back and finish the show.
Yeah, quick. Yeah, Navy. La Tech 17, Western Kentucky 17 as well. So
how about that?
Some good, good games and not good games going on right now. Up against the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with one final segment of the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
For years, textile was king here, the backbone of our economy. But textile and all the jobs left, our region was threatened. Then the nearby Hyundai plant opened. Local parts suppliers created thousands of good-paying jobs. Automotive's now the backbone of our economy, thanks to Hyundai. At Hyundai of Auburn this week, 0%, no payments for 6 months, $149 leases, and $4,000 cash back. Great cars built by our friends and neighbors. Hyundai of Auburn, you really should compare.
Show Enough Barbecue. Since 1990, we've been serving you the finest barbecue in Alexander City. Gerald believes in cooking fresh meat daily, and the secret to that is, I'm not going to tell you. Show Enough is just not about barbecue, but also known for fresh vegetables and homemade pies. That's where I come in. I'm Linda Sanford, better known as the Pie Lady. We also do catering. For more information, give us a call at 234-7675.
Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. At Walls, you'll find a dedicated staff offering top quality service from routine maintenance to a full engine overhaul and everything in between. Brian Walls and the folks at Walls Tire are local folks that you know, and they provide the best service always at a fair price. Find out what the rest of the Lake Martin area already knows. Walls Tire is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. Just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
There is a strength inside you, unknown and imperfect, waiting. And when you think you have nothing left to give, when each obstacle in your path is more formidable than the last, that's when you'll find it. And with that strength, your greatness will have no limits.
We are Steel, German-engineered chainsaws and landscape products.
The majority of which are made here in America by Americans.
And exported to over 90 countries around the world.
Find out why Steel is #1 in America at steelusa.com.
Find your Steel outdoor products and more at the new Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
This Black Friday is going to be big.
Get game-busting deals all month long during the Black Friday sales event at Bice Motors.
Award-winning vehicles. Hard-hitting savings.
BiceChryslerDodge.com. This is the sale you've been waiting for.
Score big and save all month long during the Black Friday sales event at Bice Motors.
Be a winner. Buy it from Bice.
Come see us in Alex City.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Kind of wrapping things up here. Of course, talked a lot about the AHSAA playoffs, talked about about Conference Championship Saturday. A lot of games actually already underway today. Of course, Alabama will play later today, 3 o'clock on CBS. Clemson and Virginia Tech, 7 o'clock on ABC tonight, and Wisconsin and Penn State at 7 o'clock on Fox. So interesting, the ACC and the Big Ten get to battle it out against each other. The SEC always gets their own. No competition.
Well, of course,
so,
shocker there. Right?
Funny how that works. But another story as we kind of wrap it up today, the Hero World Challenge. Tiger Woods making his much anticipated return to competitive golf after really, he actually has played a couple rounds, I think a year ago, but it's really been a couple of years really since
it really has
been actually a threat to do anything. So this is a small, only 18 people competing in this tournament, and I think Justin Rose has already pulled out, so with a bad back. So 17 people competing in this thing.
Somebody pulling out with a bad back and not Tiger Woods.
Yeah, strange.
Depends on how this round goes. If it goes south, he may pull out with a bad back. So.
But that notwithstanding, there's some stiff competition here. Dustin Johnson, Matt Kuchar, Louis Oosthuizen, Bubba Watson, Jordan Spieth, J.B. Holmes, Ricky Fowler, Henrik Stenson, just to name a few in this tournament. So Dustin Johnson is leading at 12 under, is through 2 rounds. But Tiger Woods, after having a good opening 9 and then having a terrible back 9 in day 1, came out and fired a 65 yesterday. Off to a great start again today, 2 under through 2 holes. So I don't think his tournament really means much other than if he can play 4 rounds and be healthy
at a high level,
and playing with these guys and be competitive. That's a great shot.
What if he wins the tournament? What does that do for your psyche?
I don't think it does anything for me. It does a lot for him, I'm sure, to give him some confidence to say that, hey,
I think that's a stretch to say it doesn't mean anything, because I think that from a standpoint of him being out of golf for 2 years and these guys, it's sitting a Joe Blow field. Jordan Spieth and Oosthuizen and Bubba Watson and Brent Snedeker and Dustin Johnson and all the guys that are up there, Ricky Fowler, who he's teamed up with today. I think, not to step on your toes a little bit, but I think it's a stretch not to say it doesn't mean anything. For him to jump in that tournament and to pull out a win tomorrow would be huge, I think, for the psyche of everybody else in the world of golf. But I can promise you this, if he wins the tournament, if you think he's getting coverage right now, buddy, it's going to be hyped up to a new level. Now, that may not mean he went, what you're saying is for tournaments down the line and for majors and all that. I do think after a 2-year layoff, jumping in with the best in the world, and you come back and win, that says something. Makes a statement.
He's Tiger Woods. He hasn't forgotten how to play golf. And I understand you make a good point, but injuries have been the main problem of keeping him out of it.
But he's tried to come back so many times too early. And he finally decided, hey, I'm going to wait this thing out, and I'm going to try to get back to 100%, or where I can be 100% at my age. And he took 2 years off, Andy. So,
I don't know if it was voluntary, but he
had 2 surgeries.
That's what I mean.
Well, but he did the things that he needed to do, and he did some dumb things when he was younger, Navy SEAL training that put him in this situation. So, obviously, he still has stuff left in the tank if you can shoot a 65. So
no doubt about it.
He may blow up today, but right now he's off to a good start.
It's good news for golf.
It is, and if anything, he's putting pressure in the back of the minds of those guys, because there's $3.5 million on the table. All right, let's not say this thing don't count for much, but from a psyche, they want to win, and they know if Tiger Woods is back there pushing them again, it changed the mindset of everybody.
That's pretty much going to wrap it up for the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. I've had fun.
Yeah.
I hope you have as well. We'll continue this setup
Tuesday,
and for the foreseeable future. We're going to try and see what happens. So looking forward to it. Appreciate
so much. Malzahn's offense.
Appreciate so much all of you out there joining us today. That's going to wrap it up. So long for now. We'll talk again soon.
If you currently have an FHA mortgage, this commercial is for you. Most people that currently have an FHA mortgage are working with Home Place Mortgage to refinance their current loan. Several items have changed to make now the perfect time to refinance. FHA has reduced the amount of monthly mortgage insurance. Current interest rates for FHA loans are at all-time lows. FHA has eliminated the need for new appraisal. Most people will be able to refinance with little or no closing costs. This is the opportunity that you have been waiting for. Call now to start saving.
Over the years, S&S Tires grown into the Lake Martin area's largest volume tire dealer. S&S Tire offers the industry's best brand names: Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Firestone, and much, much more. The tire pros at S&S offer professional installation and the region's best price. In addition to your tire needs, S&S offers full automotive mechanical work for all your vehicle maintenance and repair needs with the area's most experienced staff. Visit either of our 2 locations on Cherokee Road in Alex City or at South Street in Dadeville. At S&S Tire, we're installing peace of mind for every customer we serve. Every job, every day.
No pest is too big or too small for Lex Wedgeworth Pest Control. Protect your home or business today from insects, termites, mosquitoes, and more. Lex uses only the latest state-of-the-art technology and equipment to solve your pest problem, including the environmentally friendly Centricon termite baiting system. Lex has been servicing the Lake Martin area for over 35 years, and he has a full staff on hand. Call Lex today, even if it's just a question. 256-234-6162. Lex Wedgeworth Pest Control. Smart solution.